Hi, welcome to Xavier University's Center for Women in Business and the Xavier Leadership Center Leading the Way Women in Business series. In this series, we'll share insights from women leaders on how they're leading during this very unique time. Today's guest is Meilssa Baumann, who is the provost for Xavier University. Meilssa, hi, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You know, I think I know what a provost does, but can you tell us what a provost does?
Sure. The other title is Chief Academic Officer. So everything academics is the easy way to put it. All of the colleges report up through me. So everything academic, housing would, and then some of our centers. And then the other easy explanation is anything the president would like me to do.
That sounds like a good explanation. Crazy times. How are you taking care of yourself?
Crazy times as well. My daughters are grown, so I live with my dog, and if you hear her in the background, taking care of myself means exercising. I've got some remote workouts that I do with friends, and then try to get in as many walks as possible. Plus, I stress bake, and then I give it away. So
I'll give you my address afterwards for some of that stress baking. That sounds like a good idea to me.
well, I make bread, so yeah, I might take you up on that. As long as
Good.
it's not in my house, I drive it and leave it on people's doorsteps. So
Sounds good to me. I'll take some. Hey, speaking of stocking up on things, what have you been stocking up on that's not toilet paper?
well, flour to bake, that's one thing. And then I find myself, and it's funny, it's sitting right next to the computer, disinfecting wipes, right? See, like stuff that I normally wouldn't necessarily have. And then I find myself compulsively mopping my floors. So yeah, all things. I discovered Fabuloso that leaves your floors smelling lemony for one day. See, I've become a walking ad.
I love it. I love it. So go stock up on that. I need to get some of that.
There you
You know,
go.
crazy times. Students are not on campus. How are you leading during this time of the coronavirus crisis?
Oh, wow. Hopefully, I'm leading well. You'd have to ask everybody who reports to me. But we've gone remote. We went remote pretty quickly, and I have such a great team so that we use Zoom a lot. I feel like I'm probably communicating more often, and hopefully in a better way. So communication has risen to the top of the list. And then it's been about caring and keeping that at the front of the brain, in front of the mind, and front of my mouth, right? How are you doing? And really listening to people.
Sounds good. Sounds like a nice recipe for success there. You mentioned caring. And as we think about this pandemic, what are some of the other soft skills that you're really leaning on during this time?
You know, it's funny listening, just being quiet and listening. And then not being afraid to say, I don't know, or it's okay, we might not get this right, or let's do this together, or let's talk about it. Or for us, it's been about bringing as many people into the conversation as possible. And even when there are scary things to talk about, just saying it, getting it out into the open. Most people feel better, even when there's, bad things you're talking about, to have it out in the open and to be as transparent as possible. So some of those skills.
You are involved in so many aspects of the university. From a business skills standpoint, what are the critical business skills you're using right now?
Critical business skills, where you're asking an engineer right now. So my business skills probably aren't what some of your listeners are, but I will tell you here, it's all about the budget, the bottom line, and then how it affects our students in that interplay. So we really have to go back to what is our core mission at the university, what is our core business, if you will, and then if we make any cutbacks or trends, to make sure that we pay attention to. Our customers are going to be our students, right? And so how do we best take care of our students within the budget that we have? So it really is looking at everything's on the table, and then going back to our strategic plan and having an awful lot of focus about what we do.
What a difficult thing to have to balance the two, the people and the dollars. It's got to be hard. If you could look back and think about a mid-career self for you 5, 10, 15 years ago, and give yourself advice on how to navigate through this, what advice would you give yourself?
Wow. The advice would be, don't be afraid. Don't, and I don't mean fear in the maybe the normal sense. I don't know how many people think of themselves as a leader. I still probably, you know, blink when you say that, because no, I am a leader. I don't know if I wake up in the morning and think about that. There were opportunities in my mid-career self that I didn't take because I didn't think of myself in that way. So it would be, you know, look at opportunities and say, oh, I could do that, and mean it. So it was maybe have more self-confidence instead of don't be afraid, but it amounts to the same thing. Have confidence, you have something to offer, and try, right? Just try.
I have some wonderful experiences from Xavier. I attended part of graduate school there. I facilitate some strategic planning at Xavier and teach some classes in the Leadership Center. So Xavier is very dear, and I love following the basketball. How is the university going to be different post-pandemic?
Wow, you know, it's funny, people talk about the return to normal. We don't talk about normal. There's going to be a new normal. So we're preparing for everything. We're preparing for students to come back as normal on campus in the fall. We're preparing if it's a little bit late. We're prepared if some can come back, if some can't come back. Our faculty have done a remarkable job learning how to teach remotely. It wasn't anybody's top choice, but you know, our faculty have come together in that true spirit of all for one that all Xavier Muskies possess. We have to look at also, how do you support students remotely? So it's been, I don't want to say a challenge because we have such great people. You know, we've had to think, how do you exhibit cura personalis or care for the person in a Zoom atmosphere? So it's our faculty have found that they talk more, not so much lecturing more, but they're having more conversations with students. So class times are taking longer, which is a great thing. So we have masses online. We have some mental health counseling that's going on remotely. We have Ignatian yoga sessions. So we have really, yes, if you visit our website, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Hall directors in the residence halls are meeting remotely with their students. Our students have Netflix nights, and the list goes on. Plus the immersive learning that we do, we're still doing it out in the community. One of our faculty has a partnership with, I think it's Blue Manatee, the bookstore in Oakley, and they're delivering this week 500 books to children who are learning at home. So I know, so the work goes on. We've just had to rethink the how of it. So again, keep our mission at our core, and then see how we can do it and keep everybody safe.
It absolutely sounds like you're living and spreading Xavier's mission. What's giving you hope right now? For a lot of people, it's a time of high anxiety and high stress. What's giving you hope?
I gotta say, our students, faculty, and staff. You always hope you have a good team, and nobody would wish this crisis. Nobody would. Having said that, I could not imagine, and I close my meeting saying this, I can't imagine going through this with a better group of people. So they give me hope. When I see that our faculty, you know, turned on a dime to teach remotely, these were not skills they all possessed. They now have them, and everybody is doing their best. So that's my hope, is that I've watched us isolate, keep social distance. I've watched the care for the students continue. So my hope really is in our faculty, staff, and students, that together we're going to be a better institution at the end of this.
Wow. Melissa, you have had so many wonderful insights today that's going to be helpful to a large number of people. Do you have anything else that you want to share that maybe I haven't asked you that you go, oh, I want to make sure they know this?
You know, we've started to watch for stress for people. So as everybody goes through this, to give people the grace to have a bad day or to have a bad moment is important. And then realize, I think when people are digging deep right now, I think it's about grit. So maybe grit and grace, I'll leave you with. Look for both of them, and you know, you probably all have grit inside you. Let it come out. And then give other people the grace that they need to get through this, because not everybody has the same skill set. So I'll leave you with that. And thank you.
Well, thank you for being here on behalf of Xavier University Center for Women in Business and the Xavier Leadership Center. Really appreciate you being here today. I'm Chrissy Barr, and we've just had a wonderful interview with Meilssa Baumann. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.